Hey guys, HW. I'm in Hyde Park. I'm kicking off this video on a Monday. I've decided to do something special this week. I'm going to film every day for the whole week in Sydney. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to do something different each day, but the idea is to showcase Sydney on different times of the week. And in a moment, I'm going to walk across the road there to the museum, the Australian Museum. I'm going to have a little bo peep in there. And then we're going to walk probably down King Street. So we'll walk through a bit of Hyde Park, a bit of the slight little bit of Macquarie Street, and then we'll go down King Street, and then hopefully I'll grab a nectar at the bottom of King Street to wrap up the little vid today. But yeah, got to be here every day this week. I don't think there's going to be another time that I'll be able to do this. Life will get pretty busy after this week, and I probably won't have an opportunity to do one of these sort of videos every day for a fair while. So if you haven't been to my channel before, I'm HW, and I do little tours around Sydney, Australia, and sometimes overseas as well, of different interesting places. But yeah, mainly Sydney, Australia, which is my hometown, born here. So if you like these sort of vids, if you've been to Sydney before, if you're planning to come to Sydney, or you've got family in Sydney, this is a good way for you each week to pop onto my channel and have a look at what's happening in old Sydney town. So let's get going. But before we get over to the Australian Museum, let's have a little Captain Cook at this statue here in Hyde Park. And it actually is a statue of Captain Cook. I've never bothered to have a look at this before, so it's something new for me. Sort of harks back to my last video when I was out at Cornell having a look at the landing place of Captain Cook, who took Australia for the Europeans. There he is. There's Captain Cook, standing tall and proud in Hyde Park. This statue was placed here in 1908, according to the plaque on the statue. The Yorkshire Society of New South Wales helped place the statue here. There you go. On this side it's affixed with an inscription to tell us that Captain Cook was born in Marton in Yorkshire in 1728. This one just mentions that he discovered Australia. And this one mentions that he was killed in Hawaii in 1779. But all of that was covered in the last vid, so let's get over to the Australian Museum, see what we can find. Comes another fire engine. These are starting to become a fixture in my vids. The old fire engines. It's around lunchtime. I wonder if they're going out to get their lunch. So again, while I'm doing these vids, each day this week is I wanted to give you a feeling of what it's like in Sydney each day of the week, because every day is different. And today being a Monday, and when we get through the city we'll probably see it, there probably won't be many office workers around, because Monday, as far as I'm concerned, is Bludge Day. I don't think many office workers give 100% on a Monday. As we find out during the week, I'll pinpoint to you what I think are the busy days for office workers, but Monday's not one of them. I think Monday a lot of them will jump on a call with their team on Microsoft Teams or Zoom, and that'll be their work done for the day. And that was certainly evidenced with my drive into the city today. All the coffee shops in the suburbs were chockers. They'd done their little call in the morning and then they were sitting down having coffees and bludging. So low productivity day Monday in Sydney, I reckon. You could argue with me, but that's my opinion. Too busy talking and didn't provide myself a path to get across the road. Alright, here's the Australian Museum. Let's have a quick look in here and see what we can find. Started off in this section. Birds of Australia. Now, I always thought Australia had heaps of birds, but we only make it onto the number 27 on the list of countries with the most bird species. I found out Colombia's number 1 for the most number of bird species. Crazy, you learn something every day when you have a look at Google, don't you? But here's some of the birds of Australia anyway. Couple of cranes here. A brolga. There's a brolga crane. There's a brush turkey. I've seen one of those on my vids before. What do we got here? Wedge-tailed eagle there. Oh, southern giant petrel. If you're wondering why I'm looking at all these birds, it's not because I'm a bird lover of the feathered kind. It's more a case of I want to get to a certain section in the museum here. There's a cassowary. They're also native to PNG, those suckers. And here's an emu. But the reason why I've come this way is I want to get down to here, this section down here, where you can walk down the spiral staircases. I don't know what it is about spiral staircases, but they always entertain me. Now, this is definitely not Australian, this thing. This is an Irish elk. Look at the size of those antlers. This must be a massive beast. Are they still alive? Nah, they're extinct. So this Irish elk is extinct. Would have been wonderful to see that in the wild. Let's get down these crazy little staircases, because that's what I've come here for. I'm surprised they still let people on these stairs. They're pretty, the actual steps themselves, pretty narrow. You had big feet, you'd be in trouble. There's that Irish elk again there. Let's go and look at this horse and rider skeleton. Yeehaw! Skeleton of Sir Hercules and Rider, 1870, affectionately dubbed the Bone Ranger. The horse was bred at the Clifton Stud on the Hawkesbury River in 1843. It never raced, but it sired 18 big race winners, such as the Barb, which was the winner of the 1866 Melbourne Cup, the Yatterton, winner of the first Sydney Cup, so there you go. A famous horse, that one. So only a really short skirt through the museum. I'm not going to show all of it to you because you're going to save that for yourself when you get to Sydney. But here's a couple of Guyamea lilies starting to sprout up along the path here outside the museum. Stop here as we look towards Centrepoint Tower. We'll do the weather observations, eh? Going to be 20 degrees Celsius in Sydney today. The wind's currently from the northwest at 11 kilometres an hour. So let's get over to Hyde Park, finish the walk through Hyde Park, and then we'll get down King Street. And I'll take a side view of the St Mary's Cathedral as I walk down the path outside the museum. I woke this morning to the news that old Joey Biden had dropped out of the presidential race. Geez, that was a shock, wasn't it? I've been watching the betting pretty keenly on the presidential race for probably the past 6 months at least. Betting always gives you an indication of what's going to happen, I think. But the Democratic presidential candidate race is really opened up now. And I think anyone knows who's going to be the candidate. Looks like they're going to open it up, even though they have mentioned Kamala Harris a few times. Now, the reason why I mentioned it was because it goes the tourist bus. My mate that lives over in San Diego, he wired some money through to me to have a bet on that Gretchen Whitmer. Is that how you pronounce her name? I can't remember. That Gretchen lady. I'm not sure that she's going to be the candidate, though. I think I read that she's not interested. But we'll see what happens. I just walked off Park Street into Hyde Park again. We'll make our walk down to the Archibald Fountain and then down Macquarie Street, and then we'll head down King Street in search of that nectar. But going back to the office workers again, I think when we walk down King Street we won't see many of them, and I think that'll prove that Monday's become a bit of a bludge day. I think anyone that comes in on Monday is really the top of the pops when it comes to sycophants. I think the king and queens of that will definitely come in on a Monday. But as we find out during the rest of the week, I will pinpoint for you what I think are the busiest days in Sydney, for the office workers at least. All those hotel rooms and apartment buildings over there. It's 20 degrees Celsius is a delight. I'm actually in shorts today. It's the first time I've worn shorts doing the vid for all this winter season at least. I failed to mention before, but I have mentioned in other videos, the Australian Museum's free entry. So when you come to Sydney, make sure you get over there and check it out. It's got a lot more displays than the few that I showed today. It's got dinosaurs in there and everything. I think the last time I come through Hyde Park, these flower beds here were empty and we were trying to guess what they were going to plant. Now we can see. I'm no gardener, so don't ask me what the species of plant is. And as the weather starts to warm up, those flowers will be pumping. Get their little happy snap over there, look. There he is, the Archibald Fountain. Definitely a few tourists around. Might be going to be 20 degrees today, but certainly come over a bit overcast now. Looking straight down Macquarie Street now. Oh, there she is, one of my favourites. Jardin St James. Delightful little coffee shop cafe there. Tempted to stop there, but a bit cool here. Yeah, I can already see, looking down King Street from here, there isn't many office workers walking around. They're all at home bludging. I just smell something funky then. Smells like someone's smoking some wacky tobacco. And we meet Elizabeth Street. Let's hug the gutter, the footpath, the sidewalk here, and the King Street bike path as we make our way down this busy street. But again, not many office workers around. They're all at home in their pajamas. Not many shoppers around either. Thought there might be a few shoppers around today, given that a lot of them would be preparing to go back to school and work and stuff after holidays. This building here is a delight. Look at it. Look how skinny it is and old. It's got Kulwala Chambers written on the side of it. I wonder if there's still lawyers housed in that building, or solicitors or other legal folk. The Theatre Royal got on there, still got the Odd Couple playing. And then these little banners here were about to tell me what the next one was, but they've switched off now. Yeah, the Odd Couple, we've seen that. What's the next one? While we're waiting for that to change, let's have a look at the building above the MLC Centre. Oh, there you go. The next one's the Woman in Black. Corner of Pitt and King now. there's a few people in the Pitt Street Mall shopping. Some by Tiffany & Co. We'll have a look in the windows, see if they've got anything new. Here we go. Got like a blue sapphire ring there. This one's got a necklace. There you go. Not breakfast at Tiffany's, there's your nectar at Tiffany's, which we're about to order and consume up the road here. The old Boss store's still cranking. It's been there for a while now. Alright, just on the back of the Cartier store here. I always walk past this Toby's Estate Cafe. Today's the day we're going to stop and have a nectar here. Lovely heaters out the front to keep the punters warm. The flat white has arrived at Toby's Estate out the back of the Cartier store on the corner of George and King Streets. There's the baristas in there hastily putting together flat whites and lattes and piccolos. I'll set up the camera while I consume this sucker. Alright, here we go. Let's taste this sucker. Oh, that's heaven. Wow. They never disappoint, Toby's Estate, I must say. That is an absolute treat of a flat white. Yeah, wow, delicious. Nectar. Wow. Look at that, it's gone already. That's how good it was. Oh, hats off to you, Toby's Estate. Alright. The nectar's been consumed, the coffee's been consumed in Toby's Estate. Let's get cracking. But first, let's have a look at this wonderful window display from Hermes. And that's how we pronounce it in Australia. That's quite an artistic, colourful display, that one. Well, that's where the Mont Blanc store is now. That used to be down near the Boss store. Couple of people walking the pedestrian bridge up there in between Westfield and David Jones. It's an unusual display too, look. Look at all the haberdashery supplies. Scissors and measuring tapes, cotton spools. Oh, there's a cheeky little cafe down there on the bottom level of David Jones. Pick yourself up some Lindball chocolate and have a nectar. That bike looks like it's seen better days. Been locked up there, and then over time someone's come along and stripped it bit by bit. And obviously the owner's come back at some stage and gone, there's nothing left, I'll just leave it there. Let's walk down Elizabeth Street on the way back to the park, and not far from the park I've got my horse and carriage parked. This is the Sheraton on the park that we missed in my last vid. This was the one where Michael Jackson stayed back in the day, and where he got married as well. He got married in one of the suites up there. He got married to that lady that ended up, I think, being a surrogate for his kids, I think. Vaguely remember something around that. Yeah, that's it there. Tempted to I can't do it now. I was about to sprint over to the stairs over there, be sneaky, but there's traffic coming on the other side now. I'll have to do the right thing and wait for the lights, I think. Although now would be a good time. Yes, made it. Speaking of running, I've dialed my runs back down. I was doing 14 Ks every second day, but I waited too long to put my entry form in for that fun run that I was going to do. I'll tell you what it was. It was the City to Surf. I was going to go in the City to Surf for like the 10th or 11th time. I've been in it plenty of times. But the only group that was left unsold was the one right at the back. The one where you'd be basically walking with prams and the paddle pop line and all of those sort of characters. So it wouldn't be much of a run. So I thought, screw that, I'm not going in that group. So I'm going to hold off until another year to do another city to surf. I didn't realise it got booked out so early, damn it. But yeah, there was no way I was going to go in that group, because it would no longer be a run, it would just be a walk. So I've reduced the Ks back down to something a bit shorter and smaller, and I'll do that daily to keep the fitness up. I was looking forward to it as well. I was going to film it for you. I was going to strap the GoPro on my chest or baseball cap. I was going to do something and then do a bit of commentary along the way. Maybe stop and have a break at the top of Heartbreak Hill, which I usually do, regardless of how fast I'm trying to run the race. The first time I did it was in the 90s, and I did a run in the low 50s, which is, I reckon for me, is crazy fast. And then every year I did it after that, I was like 5 minutes, 10 minutes slower every year that I did it after that. So this year I was going to go back in it to see what I could do, whether I could, like, I knew I'd never get back down to the speed that I did the first time, but at least I was going to try to challenge myself a bit. But it's going to have to wait. These lights on the stairs in between Hyde Park, where Park Street dissects it or dissects it. These lights go pretty often, so I don't need to rush. Looking down William Street, or Park and William, you probably see the coastline right at the end at King's Cross. Look the other way down Park Street towards Town Hall. Looks like the sycophants are getting in their cars and starting to head home early. And I don't want to disparage the people that have to go into work, either the ones being forced or just the ones that have to, like the essential workers. Oh, there's a Rooster supporter. Here we are, back where we started. There's Captain Cook, his hand in the air over there. Look at this ground covering here, ivy or whatever it is. Can you imagine the vermin that's living in there? I bet you if I went through with a broom, I'd shake a few rats out. This lot over here having themselves a picnic in the park. Put that picnic blanket down. Coffees and drinks and food. Yeah, if you want to have a leisurely walk around the city, Monday's the time to come, let me tell you. This person over here is having a snooze in the park. with their colourful bag beside them. As we stop and look at this old water fountain, the old bubbler, the old drinking station in Hyde Park. Take this opportunity to thank you on coming on this first walk this week. The first of 7 walks in the 1 week. Day 1, Monday in Sydney. It's time to say goodbye. Thanks for coming on the walk. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next vid as we watch this little staffy run around the park and collect its ball for its owner. The video is over. There it goes, I just missed it.